the member rooms.
All right, let's get started. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? All right. I will give you time to take a seat. Okay, Adrian, do you have our guest today?
And we're so excited to have Jen back. Is she a guest? Oh, and we're happy to have Judy Dodson and also Millie. So welcome, the better half of Waco. And then we have Parker Anderson. So welcome from First Bank.
All right, thank you. Glad to see you guys here. All right, we have birthdays. Hello. All right, so birthdays for February. Jim Kreider, February 11th. All right. Oh, he's right in front of me today. He's right there.
Oh, right in front of me.
Joe DeFrank is February 12th. We haven't seen him in a while, but still a member. Bill Manning, February 18th. And Jeff Stone, February 18th. And they're both right back there. Happy birthday, guys.
Separated at birth.
And then Peter Coleman, February 24th. And I think Peter's probably still home recovering as Chuck sent out the email about him. So keep him in your thoughts. All right, and anniversaries. We have quite a few. Carolyn Alexander, 28 years. Whoa. Jim Davis, 25. We have Rocco, 24 years. Wow, all right. Sandra Kellogg, 19 years. Nope, not today. Okay, Kay, 16 years. Wow. Chuck, 8 years. Chuck's here. Chris Davis, 8 years. Ron, is Ron here? I haven't seen Ron today. He's been here 3 years. Jen Volmer, 3 years. Did you get Chuck too? Okay, right there. Sorry. Diane, 1 year, and Joe Poffett, 1 year. I can't believe it's gone quickly. 1 year already. Well, thank you guys for being here. That's a lot of years combined that we've had great Rotarians, so thank you. All right, so today is National Wear Red Day. There we go, red. Everybody that has red, all right. I have to tell you. And thank you. All right. So it's really to support and spotlight heart health, and so thank you guys for wearing red. I also have to tell you, I didn't put the slide up, but it's also work naked day, so I thought we didn't need a slide on that. Okay. All right, Rotarians in the wild. Can anyone guess whose car this is? No?
No?
Kimra's. Kimra took 71 pounds of plastic when was it, this week? So that is a lot. Thank you, Kimra.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Megan, because the recycling center can now start taking the plastic film again. So thank you for doing that. Okay, lots of stuff going on. We have the peace meeting February 13th. I believe it's probably here after the meeting. Seniors for Wellness Luncheon, February 20th. I sent out the sign-up genius. Thank you, everyone who signed up for the 3 dates. Don't forget to get your aprons on those dates. And if you take it, if you could wash it and bring it back. If you don't want to wash it, bring it to me and I'll wash them. Then we have the Mount Evans Gala Jazz Club Jubilee at Mount Vernon Canyon Club the February 27th. I don't know if tickets are still available. Are they? Oh, tickets are still available if you'd like to go. It'll be a fun night dressing up, and supporting Mount Evans.
And it's Tunisia.
Oh, and Tunisia is the band. Yes, that's a big draw. Okay, International Women's Day is March 6th. We've been sending out the details for that. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to Patrice. It is a great event, as I said last week. Lucky Luau is March 13th. That is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and Katie will get up in a little bit and tell us a little more about that. Deadline for Rotary Legacy projects is April 15th. Remember, if you have questions, please see Kurt Harris. And Center of Love Kenya trip is August 4th through the 11th. Again, you can see Patrice for that. And then the Tanzania trip is in February of 2027, and Kurt sent out an email on that this week. So lots going on, lots of fun stuff to get involved in. And then around the district, we have the 2 ice melts, Evergreen and Georgetown. Evergreens might melt a little fast. So, I don't know. I keep going by, seeing if it's still there, but you can still get your tickets until March, if it's there still. And then Georgetown has the Lake Pond Hockey Tournament, so that's Clear Creek 2000, same thing. You know, if you want to volunteer, you can, but we don't know if they'll be able to have that either. Foothills Home and Garden and Lifestyle Show is April 11th and 12th. Dave Laughlin is helping out with that. It's in Conifer this year. Still need volunteers. I think, like I said last time, you guys have really stepped up, and I appreciate that. And then the Area 8 Social, which is celebrating Ryla on April 23rd, and more to come about that. I see a lot of emails on planning for that, so that should be a fun event. Okay, all right, Katie. I almost brought my ukulele again. Shoot.
Now that Jen's back,
Yeah,
I think I see ukuleles in our future. So the word of the day for Lucky Luau is yes. Yes, thank you to those who donated this week. We had an excellent week. We are now at the matching, so we are 2/3 to our goal of $75,000. Give yourselves a hand, yes. And yes, I'll be sending out the letters that notate our 501c so that you can have them for tax purposes. And yes, still buy tickets. And yes, there'll be a DJ. And yes, there'll be prizes for the contest. And yes, I'm pretty excited about this.
all right. And these are the different levels. If you go on to the website, you can see what the sponsorships are available. And Katie still has a few posters that Lori designed, which are awesome. I love them. They're nice and bright. If you have a business or are going to any businesses, please grab a poster and let's put that up. Thank you, Katie and team, for all your hard work on this. All right, Jen. We have a couple of new member inductions and
Okay, I don't think Connie Ning is here, correct? Okay, then I will have Steve Cypher come up for member induction. Yes, please, Chuck, come on up.
Never heard that one.
So many of you have probably met Steve and his wife Alicia. Alicia's out today. We're going to induct her next month. We are going to induct Steve today. So we'll go through our little drill and then we'll hear a little bit about Steve from Steve. Cool?
That's good.
Okay. Steve, it is a great pleasure on behalf of the Board of Directors and members of the Rotary Club of Evergreen to welcome you as a member. We welcome you not only for the fine fellowship we will share, but also for your dedication to the community. Rotary is not a political organization, but all Rotarians are vitally concerned with everything pertaining to good citizenship and the election of good men and women to public office. Rotary is not a charitable organization, yet its activities exemplify the charity and the sacrifices that one should expect from people who believe that they have a responsibility in helping others. Rotary is not a religious organization, but it is built on the eternal principles that have served as the moral compass for people throughout the ages. Rotary is an organization of business and professional people pledged to uphold the highest professional standards. Rotarians believe that worldwide fellowship and international peace can be achieved when people unite under the banner of service. You, Steve, have been chosen for membership in the Rotary Club of Evergreen because your fellow members believe in you. In the community you represent, the character and the service you will bring to the club. We accept you as a member and welcome your commitment. Fellow Rotarians, I have the pleasure of presenting to you our newest Rotarian. And a special thanks to Chuck, who has agreed to be a mentor to both Alicia and Steve.
Should be easy.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you want to say a few words about yourself?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for welcoming both myself and Alicia. We're excited to be club members. We were club members in the Aspen Club. As you were doing anniversaries, mine would have been 33 years or so in the Aspen Club.
Let me see your red badge.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think 33 years. A good friend of mine said, you need to check out the Aspen Rotary Club, and I did. I did. I was the club president in 22-23. Gosh, I was the scholarship committee chairman. Probably right about now, we're approaching $1 million in scholarships that we had done since I think it was 1990. Let's see. I also was very active in forming a new committee. We worked with Roaring Fork Outdoor Volunteers and adopted a trail up Independence Pass. We did major maintenance on that trail for a handful of years. Kind of a fun project, a lot of grunt work. Professionally, let's see, I was in the hospitality business for a long time. Started in Yellowstone National Park for Yellowstoners. Let's see, then was partner in a hotel management company, as well as general manager. If anybody's seen the X Games, our hotel is at the base of Roanoke Mountain. Let's see, when we sold, I stayed on for a year with the new company, and then went into the banking finance business because a buddy of mine said, Steve, you know everybody in town. And did that for a bunch of years with a few different companies, mostly Wells Fargo Private Bank, and then First Western Trust. Retired a couple of years ago, and bought a house here because it's been super expensive. Yeah. Let's see, so we bought the house. It's up off of Little Cub Mountain Park Road, and we're doing a big renovation on it. And ready to move out next week. And, yeah. So, thank you so much for being so welcoming. Love it. Look forward to getting very active.
We are really excited about him.
Do you want to fill in for me in April, Steve? All right. I think we have. I should know. I did the slide. Yes.
Happy Bugs time, and I'm going first. Okay. Hola! I just got back from Mexico. My Happy Bucks 20 is because I'm back home and there is no place like home.
Let's not forget, this also goes to our fundraiser, the Lucky Luau. So anybody else?
I have 18 Happy Bucks I'm going to give you because the Stiggers and Writers and Means are taking a group of mostly Rotarians, 18 people, down to Guatemala to see our 3 programs that we have down there and meet the people and see the beautiful country. And we're also welcoming Kay Lamontagne and her friend Lori Evans, and Kelly, thank you, Kelly Gerard. Okay, and Judy Constantine, who's not here. And some of you might remember the two songs that used to be members here at Evergreen. So again, sponsoring the student. And we're graduating 20 new students.
I have 5 happy bucks for Carolyn. Because Carolyn takes pictures every single week, organizes them, puts them together, and sends them out in a mass email. And your pictures are wonderful, but also for spiritual and positive messages. You fire me up, Carolyn. As I told Diane Gensauer, I said, Diane, I hope you saved that picture that Carolyn took because it is a gorgeous picture of you. So $5 to Carolyn. Love you.
I got a happy buck. I just noticed about 30 minutes ago. I sent an email to everybody in my little address book, and it's a hack. So don't open any emails from me today. I apologize, but there's some happy bucks. It turns out at least
Okay, not to have you know how old I am, but I have 20 happy bucks because I was so excited. I talked my daughter into going to the Paramount Theater last night to the Redot night. That's such a good time. And you have to go downtown. That part of 16th Street Mall now is gorgeous.
I got 5 happy bucks. All my kids and grandkids are coming, and we're going to try to ski. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'll see y'all next week. We'll have fun.
I've got 20 bucks for my son who came to my house on Saturday. It was the cheapest plumber I could hire. To do some DIY I couldn't do. So cheap, and even still cheap with that 20 bucks.
All right, this is my first time. I have happy bucks, $12, and it's for Kimra. Thank you for the 71 pounds that you took care of while we didn't take it, so thank you.
I got a couple shekels just to see Bob Bradley back here. Cool. That was his awesome service. And God bless you, sir. We love you.
All right, anybody else? No? Okay, thank you guys. All right, let's see, general announcements. Does anybody have general announcements? Please come up and state your name.
Bob Rose, did you know that around the world, the month of February is Peace and Conflict Resolution Month for Rotary International? So, and if you check out the Rotarian magazine, you'll see several articles in there on Rotary and Peace. And next Friday, after this meeting, we'll be meeting right here, the Peace team of Evergreen Rotary. So some of you new members who want to see what the Evergreen Rotary Club and Rotary International is doing with regards to peace and conflict resolution, stop on by, right here.
I'm Betsy Hayes, and as you know, I'm on the board of Evergreen Park and Rec. And in case you missed it, last night we had an online quarterly community meeting, and the point of that was to get out to the community exactly what's going on with all of the improvements for Park and Rec. So that is going to be available on the website and on Facebook, probably on Monday. But the big deal is all the money for the pool, $10.5 million has been approved. We're going forward, ordering everything. The hole will start to get dug in just a couple of weeks. So go online and watch the recording. It's only half an hour from what we did last night. Thanks.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Dannix. I think most of you know that I started a family foundation, the Woodenhoff Foundation, to support students in publication up here in the mountain area. And our biggest fundraiser is our Mountain Music Fest. Yesterday morning, we announced our headline act. We have a Grammy Award-winning composer and his brother, a world-renowned actor. So we are having the Bacon Brothers. Kevin Bacon is our headline act. Yeah, and so we've got tickets on sale already. If you just go to the mountainmusicfest.org website, you can already buy them at a discounted price. Thanks.
Just a reminder, next week, Patrice and I will have all sorts of goodies from the Women's Tailoring School in Kenya. There's all sorts of cool bags and makeup bags and some incredible little animals. So, and the prices are really, really reasonable, and it makes a huge impact on the people. So please consider shopping for some fun gifts for other people.
Hi, you guys. I'm Dave Lockwood, and I just wanted to remind everyone that we've got the home show coming up April 11th and 12th. Still need volunteers for that. If you could go to the Sign Up Genius, I'll send that out again to everyone here this morning. And I also wanted to say that we've got room for more exhibitors. Conifer is pretty, big and spread out. And so we've got room for actually great booths. So if you or someone you know has a business and would be interested in that, we welcome you to. Thank you.
And I think, Tim, go ahead.
If anyone's still got party left in them after the luau, please come out to the Wild game on Tuesday, the 17th of March for St. Patrick's Day. The Wild game has been gracious enough to host the St. Baldrick's Foundation fundraiser. We've got a lot of great things planned. Cool 105 radio is going to be there. We'll have Guinness food, probably Guinness stew. Come out, raise a pint with us. Matt, if you're in the room, thanks again for joining me and shaving heads that night. And Clear Creek County Sheriff just jumped on board with the Sheriff's Department, EMS and fire, and they've got a little competition going between themselves to raise money. We're about halfway to our goal of $5,000, and we hope you'll come out on St. Patrick's Day at the Wild game.
Sorry, Tim, I'm just writing a note to put that on my calendar. So thank you all. I want to recognize Cliff Boron as one of our new sponsors. You weren't here when we announced we have our new little cards here. So thank you so much for being a new sponsor. All right, I think we're ready for our speaker who's introducing today. Oh,
I knew you'd have to do that.
I mean, you've only had all meeting to eat.
I was the bagel toaster today. So I had purpose, and that's why I am still eating. All right. So let's see if I can read this. Today we have our own Michelle. Where are you, Michelle? There you are. She's a local State Farm insurance agent in Evergreen. As a longtime resident of Evergreen, she started her career with State Farm in 1987 in Indiana. And is a graduate of Indiana University. Michelle and her late husband, Einar, that's an awesome name, moved to Colorado in 1995. Michelle has a team of 7 amazing, knowledgeable women who have over 75 years of insurance and financial services experience. At Michelle's agency, they believe in providing exceptional insurance services. Michelle has integrated her professional expertise with her personal life experiences to advocate for the empowerment and advancement of individuals, in particular students in the community. She served as chairwoman of the Wooden Hawk Foundation, a family foundation she created in October of 2023 to provide ongoing support to the Mountain Community School System through charitable and educational initiatives. Michelle also, Michelle also serves as on the board of Resilience 1220 and is Evergreen Rotary youth liaison. Michelle has a son, Hans, and a daughter, Jade, who both reside in Colorado.
There you go.
Good morning. Today I'm going to talk to you about, I was asked to speak to you about personal property, in particular inventorying it, as well as what happens with a loss, the process that you would go through. What I talked to you about is pretty much going to be, specifically geared to State Farm, but Bruce is here in case, there's anything different. But just keep that in mind. Some of what I say here may not be the case if you don't have a State Farm homeowners policy. And I would encourage you to talk to your agent about any questions you may have. So, hang on, I've never done a PowerPoint talk at the same time. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is actual cash value versus replacement cost. So this applies to your home as well as to your personal property. And in a dwelling situation, if you had a total loss or any kind of a loss, we're going to replace with like-kind equality. When it comes to actual cash value, what that means is you're going to provide us with a list of the items that you've lost or that have been destroyed. We're going to ask you questions like, when did you purchase that item? So let's say you have a couch that you've had for 10 years. All personal property items have a depreciation value attached to it. So it might be 5% per year. What they would do in that case is provide you with the actual cash value check first, meaning you give them a list of those items. We calculate the depreciation based off of the age of that item. And then once you replace the item, you provide us with a receipt showing that it doesn't matter that it's a brand new couch, it's replacement cost, and then we reimburse you for the difference. So you have the option of not replacing those items and just taking the actual cash value, or you can go out and you can buy something to replace that and then provide us with a receipt to have that reimbursed to you. Sorry, I keep flipping this and then forgetting about you guys. So, so right here we have actual cash value, pays depreciation value. So minus age and wear, right? Replacement costs, we're going to pay you what it costs for the new item. And then market value. So market value is going to apply to items like antiques, jewelry, things that may not have depreciated value when you go to us with a loss. So market value is going to be, an appraisal of what that item was valued at the time of loss, and then you would be reimbursed for that amount. And then I'm going to show you a couple examples. These are State Farm declaration pages. So I hope you can see that. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about how we come up with your personal property value. When it comes to a homeowner's policy, it's generally going to be a percentage of what you insure your home for. So in this case, you see dwelling at $781,300, and then right here you see the personal property at $585,975. That's 75% of the dwelling cost. Most homeowner policies are going to automatically provide you with 75% of the dwelling cost. However, with State Farm, you can choose a lower amount. It's not much of a savings, but you could go to 50% or 25% if you feel that your personal property coverage is just way too high. I will tell you that numerous claims adjusters have said to me, if you have a total fire loss, most people use all of their personal property coverage at that 75%.
So then, another thing that you need to be aware of is that there are limitations on certain items. So in the event of a fire loss, the one thing you are never going to get more than $200 for cash, coins, even collectible coins. So if you hide your money in your mattress, it's gone. When you see these options up here for like jewelry and furs, that's a limitation as well. Guns, firearms are going to have the same limitation. I don't know if it's listed on there. And hanging artwork could have limitations as well on them. These limitations are in the event of mysterious disappearance or theft. So if it burns in a fire, there is no limitation. However, if it is stolen or lost, then the limitation that is there, the $1,500 per jewelry or fur item, with a total of $2,500 for all your jewelry and fur items. That is after your deductible, right? So depending on your policy, you know, you can have like a 1% deductible, which would mean that in this instance, we have $7,831 that the insured is responsible before the payout happens. In the event of a jewelry and fur loss, you know, if you lost $10,000 in jewelry, that will go towards that deductible, but then you're subject to the limitation. So once you hit your deductible, you still only have that $1,500 per item. You are able with State Farm to increase the coverage on the homeowner's policy itself. That includes same thing with the firearms. I didn't mention silverware, goldware is another item that is also subject to that limitation on theft and mysterious disappearance. And so another way that you can protect those items is with a personal articles policy. And this is an example of a personal articles policy. You can see everything that can go on there, right? Jewelry, fine arts, computer, media equipment like laptops. You send your kid to college and they're taking their laptop with them. Cameras, hearing aids. Hearing aids are really expensive to insure too, by the way. Musical instruments. So there's numerous things, bikes, mountain bikes can go on this policy. And the key thing to point out is that with a homeowner's policy, first and foremost, the loss has to be sudden, direct, and accidental. And that means boom, it happens, right? Then we have to open the policy booklet up and see under the perils listed, does it fall under one of those perils, right? Fire, theft, vandalism. And if it doesn't, there's no coverage. However, on a personal articles policy, the great thing about that, we used to call them all perils, but it was a bit of a misnomer because there are some limitations. But on the personal articles policy, the coverage is more broad. So what you're looking at is you have coverage, and the only thing that would prevent the coverage would be the exclusions. And the exclusions, there's like 5 or 7 of them. The things like war, nuclear war, seizure by the government, vermin. So yes, I've had a seizure by the government. I had a gentleman who had wine on his personal articles policy and took a bottle of it in his carry-on. And it was seized by the government, TSA. So it does happen. Right? It does happen. But the thing that I like to point out is this. You know, I mentioned laptops, putting that on there. If you have like your foyer has this huge sculpture and people come over and somebody knocks it over and it breaks, that's not a covered loss under your homeowner's policy. If you have it insured on a personal articles policy, it is. So if you have things that you know, are special to you, collectibles, things like a laptop that your college student would take to school. My son did a gap year and traveled all over Southeast Asia.
So I'll be honest with you, that's his camera, that's his laptop that he took with him. He left, his laptop stopped working, he left it at some Apple authorized place in Taiwan, and somehow got it back and brought it home, still didn't work. But that was, you know, I could see him taking pictures, dropping his camera in the ocean, all kinds of things, right? So that really is a great spot to put your personal property if you're concerned about it. Let's see. No, but there are, there's not limitations on the amount of coverage that you can get on those things. However, there are requirements to add certain items. So if you had like a little $500 gold bracelet you bought and you have the receipt for that, that could be easily added. If you have a $10,000 ring with diamonds in it, we're gonna need an appraisal, we're gonna need the 4 C's, you know, cut, color, clarity, and carat.
Well, I'm a photographer, and I've got like $25,000. Would I need to schedule all that?
I would have you put an inventory list together, naming what the item is, if it has a serial number and the approximate value of what it would cost to replace it. I have a lot of people that have their cameras and the equipment that goes with it listed that way. So yeah, same thing, like mountain bikes, golf clubs, you know, all the important things. I will say that the mountain bikes are a little bit like insuring a car. They are, but they're covered. So yeah, if that's your hobby and your thing, because you know we have instances of theft, but also you know being rear-ended and you have your bikes on the back of your car and that kind of thing has happened in the past. So this is really a great policy to add things. If you're getting engaged, you know, throw the engagement ring on there. My son's getting engaged, and his future fiance works for me, so we're somehow trying to hide insuring his ring until he actually asks her. So. Let's see. Oh, I think I've kind of jumped ahead on here, but this talks about the limitations and so the cash you can see $200, $1,500 on the jewelry, firearms limits $2,500. The other thing is business personal property. A lot of people work from home, and a lot of people have their own businesses, and the limitation is set there at 1,500. So you would want to do a couple different things. We have a business in the home policy. It's fairly inexpensive, and what it's going to do is provide you 2 things. One, the coverage for your business property, so you can tell us the limit. And that makes me flip back to, you know, I'm talking specifically homeowners, but with renters, same thing. You're going to tell us the value of your property. So we don't have any calculation tool for that. Whereas with homeowners, it's a percentage of the dwelling. With renters, you'll just say, hey, give me 50,000 or something like that. But a business in the home policy is going to take care of your exposure for your business personal property. And it's also going to provide you with general liability. If you're doing something that requires any of your customers to come to your home and they are at your home with the intent to do business, your homeowner's personal liability is not going to protect you if they slip and fall. So the other thing that a business in the home policy is going to give you is the general liability that you require running a business. A lot of times people don't have that exposure when they work from home, but you know, if you're doing Mary Kay and people are coming to pick up their orders, you could have a potential risk there. Yeah, I think. Any questions about that? Yeah.
What about people that work from home?
Okay, so that's on them, right? Yeah, so if you have somebody working for you, one of the most important things you do is get a copy of their insurance. Ask them for a certificate of insurance. Make sure that they are insured because they are not covered if they're doing work on your home. So if they go after you, yeah, then that's on you. And that's them doing business for you. You're not a business owner. So you're hiring a couple of college kids to clean your roof off and they fall off. Yeah, you'd be liable for that. Personal liable. Yeah, let me, well, I'll throw in a little personal umbrella and explain that to you really quick, because that's super important, actually, that you have that. Let's talk real quick about inventorying and loss documentation, and then I can do my umbrella explanation pretty quickly, and any other questions you guys have. So on the table, I provided you with, yes, one of these, just as an example. I don't know that you would necessarily fill this one out particularly, but this is one object that, or item you could use to track your personal property. We also have a tool on statefarm.com that you can go to and put the information in there. I think I kind of went over it before, but if you do have a loss and it's a personal property involved with that, State Farm is going to provide you with a tool that is going to have pre-populated information in it so that, you know, it'll already say like jeans, 10 pairs, whatever, and then you just fill it in according to your loss. And based off of your first submission on your personal property, you are going to get a check. If it's a total loss in a fire, the first thing that State Farm is going to do is write you a check for 30% of your personal property coverage. That's in order to get you going to replace those things. And then you would start inventorying all of that with their tool. And every time you purchase something, you're going to take a picture of that receipt and submit that to State Farm. Once they receive the proof that you've replaced it, they will release any depreciation funds that are held back on that. Biggest way to save yourselves a lot of writing down of things and trying to keep track of it is take your phone and put it on video and walk around your house with it and talk. And open your cabinets and talk about what's in there. You know, you've got loss in July, you're not gonna remember your Christmas stuff, right? So that is probably the best way to document what you have and the easiest way to do it. And then have that up in the cloud or put it on a USB stick, put that in your go bag or put it in a safety deposit box. And that way, if something like that happens, you've got some information there for you to help you process your claim. I do have some appraisal resources back, I don't know, about 15, 20 years ago. It was really popular. I had people coming in all the time. They had inventory businesses. They would charge X amount of dollars to go to your house, document everything for you, give it to you in a binder. I have not seen these people anymore. So I did a little research myself, and the first three companies listed I found online. They are in the Denver surrounding area, and you can see on the right what type of valuation services they have. And then Morningstar Jewelers up here at the Safeway Shopping Center, they have somebody that comes up and does their appraisals. And so you get on their list, they call you when the appraiser's coming up, you drop off the items that you need appraised, and then pick them up like the next day. Daniel Diamonds, we spoke with them, and they really only do diamond appraisal. So if you have a jewelry piece you're probably better off going to Morningstar with that. The other thing is that we don't insure and can't insure on personal articles policy loose gems. So if your diamond, sapphire, or whatever is not mounted into a piece of jewelry, we cannot insure it. Okay. I think it's just because of the loss. It's not part of the jewelry piece, and so you've got loose stones. They don't have it. It's just a higher liability. Insurance part. Yeah. Put all the stones, some per se. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
One, my question has to do with replacement value.
Yes.
If you have a home here that has a giant cup.
Yeah.
And it burns with the home. And you are going to go into a smaller home someplace, and you're not going to replace that cup. Does that mean you don't get any money for that cup? You get the depreciated amount first and foremost, but you can replace with something smaller, and if it's over the depreciated amount, you can still get the value of that. Like you said, 10 pairs of jeans, but if I only want 3. Yeah, totally fine. It's just, that's gonna pre-populate information. It's gonna have like sweaters, shirts, coats, everything. And then you adjust it to what you truly had, and what you lost. You don't have to give me a receipt for the items that were damaged. It's the receipt is the proof that you replaced it. So you're gonna give me an approximate value at the time of the loss, and we're gonna depreciate based off of that information. And then when you replace it, you're gonna give me the receipt, which is gonna show us the actual cost, and we're gonna pay you the difference between what we gave you in depreciation and what it actually cost you. And then the other thing is, it is my understanding that the state of Colorado now has a law that you must pay out at least 65% of the policy. I'm not aware of that one yet. I know that's been one that has been talked about a lot. That's more on the structure itself, because they handle the structure the same way, right? We're going to calculate the cost to rebuild that house at the time of the loss, and then we're going to depreciate on items you can depreciate. So think about the things that you have to upkeep in your house. If you have a roof, let's say it's 10 years old and depreciation is 5% a year, you're going to have a 50% depreciation on that. So we're going to calculate the rebuild of your home. We're going to hold back depreciation on the things we can depreciate. And the way you get that released is by doing the work or having a signed contract showing that you are going to do the work. What you're talking about is, and I'll have to look and see, what you're talking about is a guaranteed amount. So what that means is that you would be guaranteed 65% of your dwelling coverage, and you can take the money and run, so if you want, right? So that people know they're gonna get X amount. They've been asking for this for years, 70%, 80%. So I'll have to look into that. Okay. I have been, the other thing that's going on right now is House Bill 1182, which is talking about fire mitigation discounts. I have been hounding State Farm to find out what that's going to look like. But there is, that House bill came through, there has to be transparency about mitigation requirements and discounts, and it goes into effect in July. So hopefully in the next month or so, I'll find out. But I will look into that and talk to my public relations person about that to find out. And then I can follow up and let you guys know. Yeah.
Replacement value. For example, we have 4 East End World War II. The $10,000. So we've gone into college. Raise our policy. Biggest question. The whole thing comes down.
Yeah.
Every.
Right.
Have to rebuild in order to get some go of it minus the property.
You can rebuild or replace. So if you don't want to rebuild on the lot, you don't have to. If you want to just buy something similar, you can do that. The only person that is going to make you rebuild on your lot is your mortgage company. Whatever you want.
We don't want to live on fair.
Right, right. So you have that option. Real quick, umbrellas. Let's talk about liability umbrellas. So, a couple things you guys got to know. In the state of Colorado, we have some of the highest liability payouts. The reason for that is if you hit somebody in a car accident, you injure them, and they go to the hospital, they get to sue you for what was billed, not paid. So if you've ever had a procedure done and the bill goes to your health insurance and it's like $100,000 and they pay $25,000, if you injure somebody, they get to sue you for the $100,000. We call that phantom damages. Pain and suffering is usually a percentage times your hospital bill, so we have overinflated liability claims. This is why we see so much Frank Azar and whatever, Heaven Levine and all that, because that's how they get paid. They get a percentage of that claim, and it doesn't cost their client anything because it was never out of their pocket. So the other thing is that if you are being sued for personal injury claims, such as somebody slipped and fell on your property or was in a car accident, if we can't settle it out of court with just our adjusters and working with their attorney or them, and it's going to court, the judge is going to assign a court auditor to audit you and see what your net worth is. And he will let the jury or she will let the jury know that number. So our recommendation is that you carry liability limits equal to your net worth within reason. When I say within reason, if you were 20 million and you carry 10 million, or you're worth 10 million and you carry 5 million, it's really about where your level of comfort is on that. But if you're worth $1 million, the best way to do that is with an umbrella policy. It's extension off of your home and your auto. And it also provides first dollar coverage for things like libel and slander. So if you're one of those people that like to post things about people and name them, if you're ever sued for that, your umbrella would come into play right away. So somebody falls off your roof and wants to sue you, the first 100 to 300,000, depending on what your umbrella requires, comes from your homeowner's policy. And then if it looks like it's going over that amount, the umbrella kicks in.
Question.
Yeah.
Go back to California with all the fires. I know there's a major issue with insurance for that guaranteed replacement.
Guaranteed replacement cost is different than replacement costs. Guaranteed replacement cost means that if your house is insured for $400,000 and it burns to the ground and it costs $800,000 to rebuild it, the insurance company has to pay $800,000. That's a guaranteed replacement cost policy. I haven't seen one in years. They pretty much, I think it was like in the 90s when California had all their fires, that was when we had a lot of that situation. Houses insured for $400,000 that were costing $1 million to rebuild. So that went away and was replaced with increased dwelling protection endorsements. And what that means is that if, I don't know if I can get that screen. Yeah, and we'll go back to the deck page. right here, where it says increased dwelling up to 390,000. So the policy comes with 20%. That means that if we're calculating the rebuild of your home and we're going over that 783,000, there's another 20% of that 783 as a cushion that takes over that guaranteed replacement cost. We also have a 50%. So this person has a 50%, and it's very inexpensive to go from 20% to 50%. So in this case, if there is a loss, there's another 50%, so 390,000 on top of the 781 for a total loss. And really, anytime, I mean, it doesn't have to be a total loss. You could have had water damage while you were on vacation, and freezing pipes, whatever. But if we are getting over the dwelling coverage amount, the option increased dwelling is what protects us now that we don't have guaranteed replacement costs anymore. And California is a completely different beast when it comes to insurance. So don't like have somebody call and say, I see State Farm is going bankrupt in California. No. What's happening in California is a lot of different things, but they have issues with both the auto and the home side because of legislation. And on the auto side, the requirements for new parts and all that stuff causes their claims to be really expensive. And the biggest thing is that in the state of California, they have a cap on how much you can increase premiums. So the insurance companies go in with what they need in order to get a correct premium to pay out their claims. And California says you can only have 5%. So it's
Michelle?
Yes.
This is a non-insurance question, but I wanted to say thank you for the work not only at State Farm, but also what you've done for the kids at Evergreen High School, the Wooden Hawk Foundation, and Music Fest. So my question is, where were you and how excited were you when your Indiana Hoosiers
What's like the 1800s or something? I know. I was thinking my husband's an IU grad, and I was like, oh, I'll bet he's partying up there. Yeah, that was amazing. That was woo, go Hoosiers. Okay, we have. Was I watching? Yes, at home.
We have one more question.
Okay.
This is just a piece of information. We talked
Yes.
about California. One thing that came out of the more recent Paradise Fire is that if your house is owned by your trust needs to be listed on your insurance policy.
Correct.
Because some lower level, I don't think State Farm does this, but it's easy, or it's this public. But some people were listed personally, and their homes were owned by a trust, and the lower level, second tier insurance companies were refusing to pay.
Right. Yeah. That's the sad thing, and that's kind of what happens when, you can't get insurance and you have to go with like a non-admitted carrier because they don't have to hold to the rules of their state. So yeah, unfortunately. Pardon?
Is that the same in Colorado?
Can you repeat the question?
No, it's not. It's not the same in Colorado as in Texas. If you have a non-admitted carrier, it could be. Yeah. You do, so you don't have to worry about it.
We did have the trust, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, so here's the thing, a lot of people say, oh yeah, I have a trust, but then I go to the assessor's website and it's not in the trust. So you can talk more about this, but yes, if you have a trust, you need to actually deed your property in the trust, and your attorney can do that for you.
So I was trying not to steal your thunder, but
Go right ahead.
why go there? And look at it that way. So
Yeah.
if you've got a trust and you've got property in your trust, what you do if you did a bill of sale, which most people do, you transfer your home to your trust. You know, over your insurance agent, get the trust name as an additional insurer. The other thing that's come up, and I think it was either Wisconsin or Minnesota, is beneficiary deeds. You can't make this stuff up. Some guy died, his ex-wife burned down his house. There was ex-wife, mind you. Okay? Must have been a word. Anyway, provided a claim to the insurance company and it was denied because the beneficiary deed was there. And what happens with the beneficiary deed, as soon as you die, it transfers to that new owner. So if you've got a beneficiary deed, make sure that beneficiary and the contingent beneficiaries are named as additional insurance. There you go.
Thanks, Doug. Yes, so anytime you have the trust, we like to add the trust on the homeowners as an additional insured, and then we'll add the trust as a named insured on your umbrella policy.
All right, thank you, Michelle.
I want to thank State Farm because we were sued for over $2 million after selling $1 million rental property to a realtor. And we knew it was fraud from the beginning. They claimed mold. They gutted the house, wanted to tear it down, and expected us to rebuild it. The mold that they found was like right behind a little bit of baseboard from a tenant's dog pee. But it took us 3.5 years. We knew it was fraud. We self-funded the start of the lawsuit. We have horrible first attorney because nobody wants to do mold. Mold is gold. Frank Ramos got involved. He was quite fun in court. He was really happy. Is that slavery? Anyway, so State Farm stepped in and they covered us. They gave us a great attorney. The first thing he said was, looks like they want you to rebuild this house. So State Farm was awesome. We thought we were going to get canceled. So I didn't want to do it. And they honored that we didn't want to settle with these people because we knew what they were doing. But it was horrible. State Farm gave us such an awesome team to fight this, and we won. And so thank you to State Farm. Get your umbrella policies. That's what we're doing.
All right, thank you, Michelle. This was a great presentation. All right, you guys, let's go out, make a good day, and unite for good. Yeah.